Hello and welcome back to the new Fluke Friday. I think it's episode 14 and this time I have the 287. And yes, you are correct. I missed the 170 and the 180 series because simply I don't have it. So I started browsing for the second hand on my local eBay and I found the 287 and it was actually a little bit more than just the 287. Little disclaimer, this video is not sponsored by Fluke. These items are not original, but I made this for the purpose of this video because I'm a fan and of course because of the copyright. It will not be for sale. Clearly it's not only the multimeter because it has a lot of accessories, that's why it's in this big suitcase. And I tried looking for it, but I didn't really find too much about it. So I'm not sure if it is a training kit, because it has a high voltage probe, it has a temperature probe, it has a bunch of cables, it's unbelievable. And well, the kit, the name is AN GSM-437. And it just says multimeter set. And I see here in the date that it is almost 10 years old. But I know from the seller, who is actually a viewer of my channel, he said he never used it and it also looks brand new. So if we do a quick measure, it is about 19 inch, so almost 50 centimeters. And well, it looks super strong. It almost looks like it is watertight. It's like 7 inches or 18 centimeters. And how high is it? Like 14 inches high. 36 centimeters. So, and you can put locks right here. The handle looks also super strong. That's why it's almost like army grade. And it seems like it is even watertight. Look at this. So let's have a look at the content. First there is this nice soft case and it is full of cables. We look into that later. We have a list of contents. Look at that, the meter, the case, BNC high voltage probe, USB infrared, temperature probe, special other probes, more cables, pins, extensions, automotive clips, spare fuses. Okay, what is in it? The interesting stuff. Well, indeed, it looks like a brand new 287. This is still on the display. Wow. True RMS. It has double meters, it has statistics, it has histograms, and here we have the calibration. Well, that was almost 10 years ago indeed, but it looks like new. This is a super nice find, and William, thanks for the great deal. And high voltage probe, look at that, 80K. It's not that big compared to my other high voltage probe, but this is a perfect match for this multimeter because it is a voltage divider inside there. Probably it does 1 to 1000, I need to check. And that's usually it. So it needs to be a perfect fit for the impedance of the multimeter itself. So, and this looks like a temperature probe, but I also read somewhere that it could also be a humidity probe at the same time, so I'm not sure how that works. This looks purely a temperature. And there is a lot more. I've had a calibration certificate it is done this October in 2013. You know, right temperature, right humidity. Well, perfect statement. Another statement that it is done well. What is this? Software license and operator new test equipment training. So maybe it's a training kit. So it's a training video. Can we do it on the, well, we need XP or later with the little display. And yeah, it seems army, because there is here a guy at army.mil. Okay, maybe it's an army training thing. Well, we have here the whole manual, and oh yeah, here headquarters, department of the army. Cool, sort of army kit. Wow, a lot of documentation. Well, let's see what cables we have. Looking at the suitcase, this also looks very strong. Look at this, how big these edges are. It is rubber, so it's probably watertight. Here is some sort of valve. Maybe I can see what it says. Yes, it says automatic pressure purge. So it is really to release the pressure, and hopefully it's still watertight. I don't know that, I need to see, but I kind of think it is, because I had another army meter from Fluke. That one was completely from aluminium. It had also this pressure valve already there. It makes sense, because if you close it in a lower pressure area and later you need to open it in a higher pressure, then maybe it's completely vacuum and then you can't even open it. So then it can kind of equalize the pressure, like you do with your ears when you're scuba diving. It makes sense to have a valve like that. Let's have a look in what cables we have. And it also fits perfectly. Now this case, well, it's a little bit a different size. It's a bit smaller, but still, by putting it here, all the accessories in the meter, everything is locked because of this case. So the soft case with all the cables actually holds the meter and the probes in place, which is pretty smart. So let's see what we have. Open this. We have here very fine probes. Proma Una. Not sure why it doesn't say Fluke, but maybe that is where they buy their cables. So very tiny. Here also very thin, fine probes. Normal cables, or it look actually like extension cables. RF cable, DNC, maybe for high frequency. This looks kind of allocated clips, but huge. Maybe automotive makes sense. Ah, cool, look at this. The infrared USB. It's a revision tool with the CD. So let's see if we can get this to run. And more alligators. Other fancy hooks. Cool, all original Fluke. A lot of different sizes. Wow, so many probes. The other alligator. Here we have a pin to BNC. So put in the meter the BNC on the meter. This is for the temperature probe, I think. spare fuses. Oh, these are rare, more expensive, so this is great to have. My normal set. Ooh, wow, this is some high quality. It's super soft. Wow. Oh, these also. Another extension cable set. I have a lot of these. And these. Okay, it's time to play with the multimeter because all the case and the cables are great and it's amazing, it's so complete. But of course we are here for the meter. And yeah, as I said, it looks quite new. The infrared interface is a little bit different than I've seen before, because usually it's on the side and it actually has the two LEDs, or they are still there, but this just looks different. I don't think my old interface will fit. This is the older one of the scope meters. Yeah, I can put it on top, but it probably can't read. So it's good that I have the original one that belongs to this. So the multimeter itself, it is quite big. And for size, I will put an 87. So you can see it's a little bit higher, but I think less wide. No, it's almost the same width, but because it's higher, it seems a little more slim. And well, the display is a lot bigger. And it's almost sort of a computer. Yeah, it needs to start. Bloop. There's a lot of digits. I think it's 50,000 counts. Even as a positive and negative. So instead of only having a positive bar, I like that it also can go negative. So we can play a little bit with that. Let's see if we switch this off, if it will be better visible. And then with the backlight, oh wow. Do I have different? Yes, I can even make it more bright. There's two settings. Well, I already set the time, because you can even put the American format or European format, time, battery level, and here is the bar. And the bar can go positive, but also negative. That is smart. And well, we have all kinds of functions that change underneath these buttons. We are now just in DC voltage. Well, let's see if we put 1 volt with my let's connect that. It indeed thinks it's almost 1 volt. Look at that. Can I get more digits? Maybe on the millivolt setting? No, it doesn't want that. Yeah, half a volt. Yeah, that must be, yeah, it's 50,000 counts. To do one more. No. It seems fast. Both the multimeter and the DMM Check Plus need to heat up a little bit more if you want to do more accurate testing, but we can get a good idea already. So I can get the ohms measurements, and well, I don't know if you notice, I like the fact that the display doesn't switch off immediately. So the backlight stays on. It will cost you batteries, but I actually prefer it now filming. That is great. So let me put it on the ohms measurements, and I have here 1%. So let's start with 100 ohms. Yes, that is correct, because this is exact the value of the resistor. They are 1%. So, well, it can be 101. But I think the 1K was spot on. So if I put the 1K, Yeah, look at that. This 1K resistor is perfect, and the meter also. This was a little bit off, I think. Yeah, 10K. It measures pretty fast. 100K. Okay, perfect. I didn't even do a zero measurement. I can do a relative, I think. I can do a beep function. And here, oh, it even displays. That's funny. If we look here, you can see it's open. And now its wire is closed. It seems fast. The display not, but the beep is. Okay, cool. And beep off. I do it, put it back to ohms. Oh yeah, okay. What can I do? In the menu, I can do ohms, nanoseconde, or I can set beeper. Yeah, but it's exactly what I did already. And you can do a relative. Okay, relative. Yeah, but for the relative, you first need to make the connection. Then it says 0.1. Then I go to the menu. Then I say relative. And then it says, of course, 0. And then it says here your reference, where you relate it to. So then if you forget you are on the relative, you can still see underneath where the difference comes from. Okay, pretty cool. Ohms, ohms. Now let's see what else we have. So we have the resistance, we have here the capacitance or diodes, and instead of going to only 2.7 volt, I see here a 5 volt scale. So that's interesting. We can get the diode later. We have amps and milliamps. Yeah, lead warning. It knows exactly where I have my leads in. And here also, cool. We have here millivolts or temperature probe, normal voltage, millivolt AC, and just AC volts. Hold min max function. What else we can do in the volts DC setting? We can do AC plus DC. We can do only DC. We can do peak. We can even do hertz and percentage. So that is, I think, a duty cycle. Oh, that is interesting in AC maybe. If I put AC, let's get the DMM check plus there. Let me put it on AC. This should be exactly 5 volt RMS. Well, it thinks the same. So, okay, what can we do here? I can do hertz, it says. So hertz, 100 hertz exactly. Oh yeah, we can do the edge up or edge down. Yeah, doesn't matter. What else we can do? dBms, dB volt, dB volts and hertz. Relative or the normal setting. Oh cool, now we can also see, I want to have the frequency again. Also, this one. I saw there was also percentage. So does that mean that we can accuracy than the duty cycle. Yes, we can. Pretty cool. 100 Hz, 50%, and that's correct because it's a square wave. Oh, that's pretty cool. And then we can do the duty cycle of the top one or the bottom one. That is pretty neat. This thing can do so much. I like to see the frequency here also, always. But then I need to do it like this. Oh, we still have a good readout in the bottom. Okay, let's change, because I can go also to 10K, I think. Yeah, 10K. Voltage is not precisely good anymore. So I don't know where the cutoff is for the low pass filters. Maybe it is around this 10K, and then of course it already starts to drop. I need to read. Yeah, still almost 50% duty cycle. DC accuracy should be better. So if I go to DC, yeah, it's missing a few counts. Quickly put a reference meter. Do I have a light here? No, I need to push long, I think. Yeah. So it says 49999. Yeah, this one is a fractional high. I can do, I think, another digit. Yeah. So this one is a little bit high. This one is a fraction low. Current measurements, these loose. Oh, I would lose these, and then I keep these here. And then we go to milliamps, and it starts to complain. Warning, warning, the leads are not good. So let's listen and change them. I am in the milliamps, so that would be this one. Also, it starts in the middle. It can go up, it can go down. I'm in DC, and I should have exactly 1 milliamp here. And that is what I have. And I should be able to also do AC. Now I hear AC and DC already. Okay. Now it's AC only. This is fractional low, but I'm not sure if I'm now in. Somehow the frequency readout does not work in AC. Because clearly I'm in AC with my 1 milliamp, and now I'm in DC, so now I don't see anything. Now I go back to AC, we can see the value, but no frequency. So the frequency doesn't work here. Can I do duty cycle? Probably also doesn't work. No, no frequency, then you also have no duty cycle. Makes sense. Maybe the value is too low. Weird. AC plus DC. Can I see it at the same time? Yeah, cool. Now I switch over to DC. Yeah, now it's in. Okay, it also has a save function. So if we do now save, we can choose we want to save or view or record. Well, let's just save. Saving. Okay. Then we can probably recall that. So if I say view memory, first I will take the pin out. Back, close. So I have no value here. I go to the save menu, then I say view memory, then I say view, and then I should have my measurement. Yep, here we have the measurement that was recorded. Next, no, previous, no. I can delete this one. Okay. Go back. Let's see if we can record something. Okay, go to my other calibrator, switch this one off. Oh, I also have caps. Let me do the caps first. Caps. These are also 1%, I think. Menu. I want caps. Yes. Then I do smallest one here. 1 nano. Yeah, 1.10. I think that one was off. Then I have here 10. I need to see the real values, but it was like 10% up. Here also, here it's 1%. And I have here another one, 1 micro, 1 micro. Yeah, the meter reads out correct, because if I'm looking here, they are all about 10% up. If I look, this is the sheet I got from DMM Check Plus. Okay, let's see if we can save. Save, and then I say I want to save. But this is now back. Save menu. I want to record. Record. 1 day, so many hours, or a sample interval. I'll just 1 day, 0 hours. I can probably just stop it after, no? Or no, edit. 1 day. No. Let's do 1 minute. Okay. Start recording. Okay, the timer goes. And here it's blinking that it is recording. So I go up, a little bit up. You can see the events that go up and the light is blinking. And now we go down again. Okay, that's it. Then let's see, we can save this or we can do the trend. So let me see the trend first. It recorded 30 events in 1 minute. Okay, trend. Wow, look at that. That is pretty cool. And you can see the value here. There is a cursor that you can move. It is the summary, the trend. Oh, you can even, with the arrows up and down, you can zoom. Wow. And then you can walk to your steps, all the measure points that it sampled. And down I can zoom out again. Wow. I'm not sure it was well visible, but on these arrows I can skip to my measure points, and with the up I can zoom, and with the down I go out again. And this moves the cursor. It's easy to really easy to control. Well, I can save it if I want. Save, close. Even though the multimeter is almost a computer, I didn't read any manual. I'm just pushing buttons, and yes, sometimes I think, oh, I pushed the wrong button. Then you try again, and there the option is. So I wasn't sidetracked too often, and it just works as you expect. We have still two probes. So I have the temperature probe that I also read was a humidity, but it is probably a different probe. So maybe you can order two types of this probe, and the high voltage. And I do have my Keithley here, the Keithley 246 high voltage supply that goes up to 3.2 kilovolts, I think. So I probably need to wear protection again because I don't use that too much, but I think it's great to test this probe as well. And we start safe with the temperature. Well, here I have my high voltage source. Let me get the cables away. It is valves or tubes, so I can switch it on, but then I need to wait before I switch on the output. And it is now in 10 volts plus minus, so I switch it on. I don't think I'm a power plug connected because I don't see any light now. Let's try that again with the power plug on. I usually take it out because I'm kind of scared of this high voltage stuff. Okay, so that can heat up a little bit. The output is off still, and the output comes out here. So I let it just be switched on for a while. The tubes can glow, and we play with the temperature first. So here we have the probe. What is this? Plug. I think the color tells you if it's a J or a K. We pin this. Now yes. It's a little bit more hot here. It's almost 22. Oh yeah, and the metal is cold. It came from the box. Oh yeah, it's in this little tip. Well, before I just start probing and break everything with the high voltage, I will quickly have a look what setting I need to put for the high voltage probe. Oh, I read this high voltage probe goes only up to 6000 volts. But that explains also why the size is a little bit smaller, because I have also another one here that goes to 40,000. But yeah, it's a completely different size. Well, inside it is the whole thing. It's huge. But you see here, because this one goes to 40 kV, it needs a lot more protection. And if you only go to 6000, this is already good enough. And I like it because it's a smaller size. But what we need to do? Well, I read it's very simple. It's just divide by 1000. They say 1 volt is equal to 1000. So I have here my ground wire. This is what you put to the high voltage. This goes in the multimeter. So let's do that. This is the ground wire to the left. Let's just try it first on a lower voltage just to be sure. So 5 volts should be 5 millivolts. Let me see, do I have 5 millivolts? Here is my, and it's for AC and DC, it's just a voltage divider. Yes, that is 5 millivolts. and I can even go lower. Yeah, 5 millivolts exactly. Okay, let's try a little bit. I'm here on the full voltages, so it is divided by 1000. And first I will do the ground wire. That goes here. And let's just start with the 100 volts. 100, 100, that is 100 volts. We should have nothing right now. That is correct. And then we switch the output on. And we have, let me fine tune that a little bit. Now, so this is 100 volts. Well, let's do some brave stuff. To 1000 volt, here we are, this is the scale. So this should be 1000 volts, so that will show up as 1 volt. Yes, it does. And I should be able to go to 6000, so I can go to 2000 volts. Yeah. Three thousand volts. Well, that works. Well, the high voltage probe works, and even though I try to be careful with the glove and everything, you can clearly see that I'm not used to work on high voltages. I'm still wearing my ring. I should have taken that off. You need to work with one hand, so tie one behind your back, because then the voltage cannot go through, or the current cannot go through both arms and pass your heart. So work with one hand. So with all these little things I forget, but I try to be as careful as possible. And we did see indeed that we had 3000 volts on the meter that showed up as 3 volt. So it was less precise, but it is of course a by 1000 divider. So I am really impressed about this meter. It is almost a computer, but it is so easy to operate. And there is also an info button, and you can just push that if you're not sure what it means. The current screen where you are in, it just pops up and you can scroll through the text and it explains all the buttons and what it does. So Fluke did a great job on this. It's really a pity that they are crazy expensive if you buy them new, and also second hand they kind of keep your they keep the value. But yeah, if you are able to work with these, I think you will be a very happy man. I wanted to connect it also to the computer. The CD is also 10 years old, so I prefer to do that in another video, and then I just download all the drivers instead of using a 10-year-old CD that's probably made for Windows XP. So I want to prepare that a little bit better. I hope you enjoyed that. So we went through all the basic function. We even play a little bit with the temperature and the high voltage probe. And then the software will be in another video. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.